there, this is Wendy from Cellar Wine. I'm here today with Scotty. Brett's missing in action today. Well, he's not missing in action, but his father has had some health issues and he's off. So today we just want to do a big shout out to Graham Woodward. We love you, we miss you, we wish you were here with us. And we hope you get well really soon. But no worries, we've got beautiful Scott here. He's going to help us out. Today we're focusing on Cabernet because Cabernet Sauvignon is probably one of the varietal that, you know, me and Frank, when we fell in love with Sadler's, it was the calling card was the bluegrass Cabernet Sauvignon. So we just wanted to focus on that a little bit today. And yeah, so there we go. So Scotty, what can you tell us about the Cabernet?
God, Cabernet Sauvignon, it's a relatively new grape to the industry. It was basically conceived in the 17th century by a Frenchman who was quite adventurous, and he decided to cross-pollinate Sauvignon Blanc with a unique French varietal, Cabernet Franc, and there was the birth of Cab Sav. Cabernet Sauvignon, not Cab Sav, is now today one of the world's most grown varietals. You can find it in quite cold climates, medium climate. You don't find them too often in warm, hot climates, but the whole concept of Cabernet is it's a great wine just to bring people together, great with food, great with good company. It's just a good drinking wine.
It's so consistent, isn't it? Because I was thinking, why is the bluegrass Cabernet Sauvignon, like, we've had it since our inception in 1990. It was the first variety that we bottled under our iconic bluegrass. What do you think gives it that longevity? What is so special about it that's just given Sadler's that longevity?
Well, Sadler's Creek's perspective on this was when we established the business back in 1989, 1990, it was a very Shiraz predominant area. And we thought, how are we going to merge into this market? And how are we going to merge into the market? And they thought, well, Cabernet Sauvignon, it's not grown in the region. It would be a good flag to fly in the hunter. So we started to source this from our iconic region, Langhorne Creek, down in South Australia, which is renowned for some of the world's oldest grapevines. We brought it up here. We make the wine to a style that suits this particular area. So we're not trying to replicate a South Australian wine. And it has just been our flagship banner ever since.
It's a consistent, isn't it? It's a winner. It's well, again, like for me and Frank, who have been members for a long time before we adopted Sadler's 5 years ago.
Yep.
It's just the one that we are always 100% confident that it will be consistent. It's just delicious.
Well, flavour of Cabernet, I mean, look, as a young wine, they're quite punchy, they're quite rich, quite complex. We find they have firm but assertive tannin. We also find that they have quite lengthy acid compounds on the palate as well. So they're great as a youthful wine. Yep. As I said, great with food, great with good company, but they do really excel in the cellar. So if you were to lie the wine down, nurture it for, 4 to 6 years, you will come out trumps. It's going to be an absolute pleasure. And today, I believe we've got our current vintage of the 17 to have a quick little look at. Yep. We're also going to compare that with one of our back vintages, which is the 2012 vintage. Yes, so they're quite different in style. So we already have the 2017 Cabernet in glass, which most of our club members have already had a sample of this particular wine. This is very generous on the fruit notes, very forward, very floral, very aromatic, and a great backbone which is nurtured from our American oak barrels, which gives you an essence of dark chocolate, lifting up the fruit flavours. So have a little taste, Wendy. I mean, you're familiar with Cabernet. You love cabs. If you look at the colour of this as a youthful wine as well, it's very deep. It's almost magenta in appearance, really vibrant in its youth. That will fade over time. It typically will become a little bit more brick red in colour as it progresses. That is not a fault of the wine. The pigments are just fading over time. But with the fading of those pigments, you'll generally find too that your tannins will soften, your acidity softens as well, almost dissipates off the palate, and it gives you a more lengthy, drawn-out palate. Food not required with aged Cabernet. But we'll have a look at the aged one in a moment.
That's really, for 2017, it's very smooth.
Mm-hmm. Incredible wine. That's a testament to the winemaker. And I can say that he's not here with me today. So Oh, very good.
Yeah, no, really nice.
So if you want to grab this one, Wendy, this is one that I've just poured a moment ago.
Previously good.
It's a little bit awkward for you guys online to have a look at here with a colour profile. They are similar, but you will find that it is fading out slightly. What you will not be able to see on the camera is the actual taste of the wine, which all I can say to you guys is if you want to buy a bottle, I'm more than happy to sell it to you.
Brett said he's watching though.
He
might not be here, but he's watching. Do you want to do a side-by-side comparison with the colour of the...
Yep.
You're not going to get a huge difference to them, and I don't necessarily have the white background here, which is why we have that fluorescent light in the bar, just to emphasise or heighten the colour of the wine. Keeping in mind, guys, there's only 5 years difference between these two wines, so it's not a big difference of age. These wines will quite easily develop 14, 15 years in your cellar at home if you want to nurture them, if you want to care for them a little bit more. Otherwise, I mean, I'm not going to be upset with anybody that drinks them straight away.
Good, like 8 years old for Cabernet is like on point.
It is on point, but again, you have to have the patience to be able to take it to that 8th year mark. Not everybody can facilitate that 8 years, but if you can, you're going to be benefiting from the nurturing of the wine. So.
Craig said, oops, he's opened his 2016 already.
Well, 2016 was a winner too, 5-star, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've had some great feedback, great comments, and great accolades awarded to our Cabernet over the years. It certainly is still one of our flagship wines, but I have to say, with the team, with the welcoming Wendy, yourself, Frank, into the team, Serge, he's not here, but ultimately from their sort of purchase of the company or them coming on board, we have got so many other wines on offer as well. So Cabernet, it's competitive. It's holding its own against our Shiraz. It's a beautiful wine overall.
Definitely my favourite, definitely.
So, and look, it's a dry wine. I mean, it's not suited to everybody's palate, but I have to again drive home to you that the whole concept of food with the actual wine is where it is all at. Now, I'd be suggesting, any good protein, your choice, as long as it's big and it's bold and it's rich. So the wine itself is what we would say is umami. It's quite meaty in its own character. So it is a wine that loves to be served alongside of meat. So whether you want a big old T-bone steak or whether you want to do a lamb chop, I don't think you'll be disappointed either way.
What about a vegetarian option, Brett?
Vegetarian option. You call me Brett. I'm not that young. Yeah, look, vegetarian option here. Look, I would just go with something Indian, maybe a vegetarian korma, nice curry to go with something like that. It will really respond. Look, food is an optional extra. I mean, but hey, drink responsible. I have to say that as well. Oh, God. As I laugh and have another drink.
Now, right here in front of us is our sparkling Cabernet, and I love all Cabernet, but I especially love this one because I feel like, we're going to pour it, Scotty?
Yeah, definitely.
This one, I feel like this was one of the babies that was initiated when we came on board, so very, very sentimental, this one. Literally came about...
it's a boy.
It literally came about by Frank just saying when we first came on board, Brett, what do you want to make? Like, if you can do anything, what do you want to do? And he came straight back with, I really want to make a sparkling Cabernet because not many people, it's so unique. There's not many people out there doing it. And I've got to say, it's been a winner.
There's only a handful of producers in the state that are actually focusing on Cabernet as a sparkling wine. Majority of people will go down the traditional path of Shiraz or Merlot. Our concept with Cabernet, it's what our members know us for. And I think we'd literally upset everybody if we made a sparkling Shiraz. So we adopted the Cabernet. Yes, we went down that path. Cabernets, look, I've spoken to a lot of people about Cabernet. I refer to them as a donut palate, meaning you have a lot of flavour in the peripheral, on the gum line, on the outskirts of your taste buds. Very little component on the mid palate. The tricky thing with Cabernet is you refrigerate it to serve it, and you flatten that palate down further. So the trick with Cabernet is adding subtle layers of sugar or residual sugar on the palate, which lifts your mid palate. So often the perception up front is a little bit on the sweeter side, so sweeter blackcurrant, blackberry characteristics, but then the tannin on the finish towards the tail end of your palate is going to be uniquely dry. So it starts off a hint of sweetness, finishes quite dry, very moreish, but it's quite dangerous because once you start drinking this, you cannot stop drinking it. So
drink it chilled, what, 4 degrees?
Drink it down. I have to say, look, 4 degrees, yeah, that's cold, but the colder you can get the wine, the better tasting the wine. And look, food-wise, I mean, look, this is something that we heavily promote around the silly season, around Christmas. So if you're going to serve this with your turkey, your pork, and it's not so much the turkey and the pork, it's the trimmings that you serve with the turkey and the turkey and pork. So it's the apple sauce, it's the cranberry sauce that really ties this in.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's awesome with food.
Yeah. Well, cheers, Scott.
Cheers.
Thank you.
No worries. So,
cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. My first webinar, seminar.
Oh,
any questions?
What have we got, Deb?
Penelope says she loves the sparkles. Has anyone got any questions out there that we would like to ask Scott or Wendy about the wines?
Everyone loves the sparkles. I don't think I haven't shared a sparkling with anyone that they've said anything but that is sensational.
Wendy, I don't share my wine with anybody. Maybe that's wrong. So.
Wendy, what's the Magnum there?
The Magnum. Okay, so we've just literally bottled this because it is our 30th anniversary. So we wanted to do some special things. It hasn't been released yet, but it is one of our celebration bottles that we're looking at releasing coming into May, June. So we've just redesigned the label a little bit, taken some beautiful elements from our traditional bottle, taken the flower and just blown it up to really align it with our with where it's come from and its history. And we've made them into a mag. We wanted to celebrate this year, so we thought a mag would be
essentially what Wendy's saying, one bottle doesn't go far enough. So we made a really big bottle for everybody to overindulge.
I've got a big family. So, okay, it was all about me. No, it's all good.
Seeing we've got you here, what's happening in the Cellar door this weekend?
In the Cellar door this weekend, it's been quite, obviously with the coronavirus or COVID-19. Look, we're going to have a COVID Merlot weekend. We've got the best Barrique Merlot on sale at the moment for a red hot price of $148 a dozen delivered. If anybody would like to take us up on that offer, I mean, give us a call. The phones have been going off the hook today, but I will be on site on Saturday. If you wanted to call the winery, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you. So, I mean, please feel free. You'd be welcome to.
Cool. Well, Hannah was telling me too, it's International Malbec Day today.
It is International Malbec Day.
He's a very close cousin. They like rub shoulders.
And they both start with M, so they're similar.
So Merlot's joining in on the celebration and putting it out there.
Oh, look, Merlot sometimes has been considered the lost grape in the industry. It's a blending component. It's quite soft. We've got the movie Sideways that was released back in the early 90s, which had not too good things to say about Merlot. And look, the market suffered there for a while. But look, we can make Merlot as big and as bold as Shiraz and Cabernet if we so desire. Don't be quick to write off Merlot, guys. It's another great varietal, and I think...
And it's definitely got our little signature touch to it.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. Every wine that we have has a little touch of us in it, so it's a good thing, guys. So,
thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Bye.